Dean, first question, why would you fit an adjustable gas block?
Okay, well, it's basically all about reducing the effects of excessive gas impulse down the gas tube, particularly for guys fitting a suppressor onto an AR. That does increase the impulse time of the peak pressure down the gas tube. The negative effects of that often is it can tend to blow gas out past the charger guide or charger handle into the shooter's eyes, over vigorous extraction, which can lead to premature parts breakage, extractors, that sort of thing, and obviously the action tends to run a bit dirtier.
Sure.
Fitting an adjustable gas block allows you to tune out or restrict some of that excessive gas impulse, so the gun cycles with just enough force to work reliably. And it's also handy if you've set the gun up differently, like with a lighter weight buffer weight or spring, for example, for shooting 300 blackout subsonic loads. And if you're then going between subsonics and high velocity loads, obviously you need a quick way to go back to a more suitable setting for those loads. A few years ago I found that there was an increasing need in the New Zealand market for an adjustable gas block, because we're getting a lot of guys using AR type rifles now for hunting. In some cases with the guys that are doing commercial shooting of goats or commercial deer recovery, they're actually blowing up bolt heads, busting extractors, and because they're running the guns fairly hard. At the time, there's a few common ones available, like little Seekins or JP type gas blocks from the States that just used a 2-screw arrangement, but there wasn't really a lot of options available in a simpler click adjustment or a detent ball type system.
Sure.
So basically I asked guys on one of the shooting forums, what do you want? And that was quite a good way of doing it. The main things they come back said, it's got to have click stops, it's got to have grub screw locking underneath instead of a sort of clamp type arrangement, and it's got to be accessible from the front. Since I designed the first one, the size of the fore ends has kind of got smaller, so that then necessitated the need to go to an even slimmer design inside the fore end. Like that,
and still be able to adjust it without having to take the rail and everything off.
And the whole point of it is that you can access from the front of the gas block, or in some cases through the hole on the side. But or the other option is obviously if guys are still running the old Delta Ring type system, it's easy access as well. But you've got to be able to get at it, with the suppressor still on there. And for some guys, the 2-screw type arrangement, or the 2 little grub screw, because sometimes you'd have one here and then another one here. You have to do 2, and if it's not detent, then it's a little bit
finicky.
You're all CNC machined in-house here. Start with solid steel, just 1018 mild steel. It comes in a big 3 metre length, so it's cut to bits like that. First operation is in the machining centre, so that does most of the profile, the main holes for your barrel clearance and gas tube. Operations 2, 3, 4 and 5 do the other holes, and also the special little angled screw for your main adjustment. And that's the key, or one of the key features of this design, is that the screw is actually angled out to the side. And that basically allows for a stronger detent design, because the notches or the grooves for the detent are in the head of the screw, not in the threads. So very reliable, very robust, and strong design. I deliberately didn't use aluminium. The main reason for that is that because where the gas always escapes out of the hole, your flame temperature of the gas is over 1200 degrees. Aluminium melts at about 450, 500 degrees, and that's been the problem what the guys have found with aluminium type gas blocks, is they erode out in a short space of time. So steel was the obvious choice. We've also got them gas nitrided. It just happens to be a black colour, so that looks nice. So that provides a hard surface. That's also very corrosion resistant. The stainless steel and 316 has a lot better erosion resistance than a regular carbon type set screw at those higher temperatures. And the other thing, of course, or the reason we didn't use stainless for the gas body, is that we didn't want to have a situation where you've got a stainless body, stainless screw stainless on stainless, it gets dry, particularly with heat and pressure, it'll stick, it'll seize. So we wanted to avoid that issue. So that's the reason that's carbon steel and that's stainless. Good quality manufacture, the offset screw, you know, with a stronger design, stronger detent ball and spring system, and reliability. I mean, we've been making these for over a couple of years now, a few hundred out there in the market. Basically been no issues with the set screw sticking or anything like that, compared with some of the, you know, smaller competitors ones where that's been one of the main issues. In the AGB2 size, we also supplied 2 custom made shim washers. That's for getting the hole alignment right. And also there's 2 Allen keys supplied, the smaller one for the little grub screws that lock it on, and then obviously there's a longer ball end type Allen key for doing your main adjustment screw. Basically we started with the AGB1, which was the original design. It was a little bit heavier, and we actually had a slightly larger screw head design. And that works fine. You know, the AGB2, which is our main one now for the 3/4 inch diameter barrel tuners, which is, you know, 90% of what's out there. And just recently have released the scaled down version, which is the AGB3, which is specifically for the smaller 625 diameter barrels, like the GI barrels or the, you know, the Faxon type pencil barrels, or ultralight barrels that a few guys are starting to run now for hunting. So that's the other, you know, say, recent addition, just to cater for guys that have bought those rifles. We've been installing these and making them for over 2 years now. There's been 0 issues as far as reliability goes. You know, we're supplying them to not only the end users but also trade customers who have found them, you know, to be good and reliable. So that's sort of proven the point. It's a, you know, good design. But the main things are quality of manufacture. They're reliable. Everything's done to the highest standards. You know, the holes and the threads and everything are done as precisely as possible, just to minimise sloppy fits or problems in that regard, or gas leakage. And yeah, for a very fair price you can purchase a product that's designed and made in New Zealand by a, you know, qualified gunsmith who's committed to the industry and the international industry as well. So not just in New Zealand.